welcome to another video on my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a collection of flip through so you can sort of see who I collect and what I collect for them. I'll be doing this in group order, starting with my largest collection, which is Xdinary Heroes, which if I remove these makes up these 4 binders. So let's start with this. So this is my first A4 binder for Xdinary Heroes, and it makes up the majority of my album card collection. It has everything from Hello World through to Live Lock in because I could not fit any more pages in when troubleshooting came with a ton of cards. But it ended up working out quite nicely as I ended up having the 4 first mini albums before the first official album all in one spot. So how I collect Xdinary Heroes is I do album cards for all 6 members, plus at least 1 or 2 POB sets per era because they are my alt group. The first group I sort of got into for collecting. As for how I put them in this binder, I do the era through members, so you know all the Hello World cards going Gunil, Jungsu, Gaon, Ode, Junhan and then Juyeon. Also for these first few eras you'll see that I don't double back the cards just because the packs were really fun, they had that, you know, the holographic signatures, and it's just how I like to keep them. My bias for this group is Ode, but I do collect OT6, so it just means that I typically get if I see an Ode POB, but I'm not likely to get the whole set, then I'll still pick it up if I like it, sort of thing. Yeah, so that's all my Hello World cards. Hello World, Overload and Deadlock I am finished for. I've got, I think it's 8 or 9 cards left for Live Lock. In troubleshooting, as you'll soon see, I have barely started. But yeah, going through. And then this is where sort of JYP changed what they were doing, and instead of having the 4 outfits with all the different packs, we had the 2 main outfits with 2 cards each sort of in the standard versions, and then a digipack card, and the back sort of just became, you know, a bit more generic. But I don't mind, it just means that we went up to more than 4 cards and I didn't have any issues putting them on the back because I wasn't covering up their, you know, fun little signatures anymore, which you never know, they might have had that in mind when they were doing it for people who collect the A4s, but I imagine it was just, it's easier for them to get cards of the same outfit. Again, this is all fully complete. Then we get to Live Lock. So how I do fillers is have a few packs of these, not enough to fill in all the spots I'm missing, but I just pop them in for this book and anything else Xdinary Heroes. I think I've only got them in this in my POB one at the moment, and then I just put a little sticky note down. Okay, good. Yeah, so sorry, notification on my phone. So yeah, I put a filler in and then just a little sticky note saying what the card is, so I sort of know how I like to put them in, but just in case I ever do forget where I'd put things. So Live Lock went a bit strange, as you'll see on this next page. You had the 2 like standard version cards for both concepts, and a digipack card for both concepts, but also a circle card and sort of a ID. So what I did is I decided to just put the 2 different like concepts together. That card will match these, and then that outfit matches these ones, so that's why I put that there. And same principle for the circle cards. Also missing 1 Jungsu. I just recently bought that gown, so we're just missing those 2 for him now. It might be my bias, but I always struggle to somehow get him done first. He's always seemingly the one who I'm just waiting on a card for, so he's currently the least collected for this year. I just seem to get a lot of luck following Gunil and Juyeon. And Junhan's quite finished because people are selling his cards are quite cheap for this year at the moment. But that is my first album binder for Xdinary Heroes, and that will stay as it is, just with putting the rest of those live block cards in as and when I get them. Then moving on to my second A4 binder for Xdinary Heroes. This is my troubleshooting binder. It's going to house all the cards sort of from this album because it ends up filling out right to the end sort of perfectly. With this POB set from JYP shop in the front just to take up the extra space and page that I had, but it's also like a nice front page. So how this year is going to work is I've not got sort of many of the actual album cards yet because I imagine these cards will be a lot harder to find. So we have sort of the phoneception card, as I call it, and then the mirror selfie, the trading card, and then the I want to say holographic, but I know it's not, but it's like got the two different photos in from the Nemo version. And that ended up working out quite well numerically, as there's 17 cards in the Nemo version. Or was it 17? 17, 15? Either way, it ended up being that there was one extra card which could fit in this spot and then have 3 or 4 full pages for the rest of them. There's my Jungsu page. Gowns complete. Ode was still lacking. I have found both of these cards now, it's just waiting to be able to have the funds to buy them. And Junhan's done. And then as you can see, this is how I sort of do the album cards. We'll have that concept at the top and that concept at the bottom. These were both my album pulls. As you can see, I cannot escape Judy on, but it doesn't matter, it just means these are really easy members for me to collect, which is good because sometimes you can find all these cards bar one. Then moving on to the Nemo versions, what I did is I put the 4 selfie cards, sort of alternating between the different concepts. Let me just get it out. Oh, these ran off. Slipping under my mirror. Still in there. Is it on the back? No? And that's also at a later date. Then all the backs are the same for me, so just remember name changes. Then you've got sort of the more concept photos, but still quite up close. So there's 15 cards. Not 15, there's 13 cards. 13 cards, there we go. This is the final page. We've got the full body shot, the other concept card, and then they'll have this sort of more muted photo, which I'll just pop it on the end, because some of them are sideways and some of them aren't. Then moving on to Jungsu. All it means is that for this either when you're looking at cards, you sort of, if they haven't put a photo of the background, you sort of have to stare at it for a second and be like, is this an album card? Is this I keep calling them Nemo versions, but like the individual member versions do the small ones. I don't know what they're called, but I'm just going to refer to them as the Nemo versions, because that's what they are in my mind. Yeah, and along to down. Then we get Ode. These pages do like to stick, and I don't know why. So I can flip them. There we go. Recenter. Yep. Because like, see, this Ode card it's like portrait rather than more than landscape, so it was a bit of an interesting one. Then we've got Junhan, who has pulled out this entire era's concept phenomenally. Both versions just suit him so well. It's just nice to see him have fun, especially in Money in the Mind, when we all collectively lost our shit when he started singing after his solo, the one where, you know, Gown's like, ladies and gentlemen, good always, it was like when I watched the live clip back for the first time, dead, deceased. Because obviously on the live version it's kind of hard to tell, and a lot of like the lyric videos that Assigner members gave the line to Ode, which I mean, fair enough, we don't exactly expect Junhan to come absolutely belting out, but it was nice to see all of them having lines just come back. I know obviously they're a band, so it's a bit difficult for Junhan and Gunil to sing, but it was nice that they all had something in No Matter as well. Now, This binder we're only going to look at half of now because there's a different collection in the back of it. But this is my sort of group and unit cards for Xdinary Heroes, along with any like miscellaneous things I have. So we've got the Overload group cards, and then the other group cards I've got, which is the USA Overload exclusive, the concept card that came with the ring designs, and then a tour card. Then we have the units from Deadlock, which I do have the full set of 15 for. The stickers from Livelock. I do also have the trading cards for that set, but unlike troubleshooting, they're like quite wide, so I'll get some two pocket pages and put them in. It's just finding somewhere that has 2 pocket pages like at a reasonable price. Then I've got my Livelock units, which as you can see I've got a few, but I'm sort of missing a couple still. Like this whole last page is empty. And then that's all for Xdinary Heroes in this binder. I have ended up putting a different group collection in the back of here just because, as you can see, it's not very full at all, and it made sense to. But we'll get back to later. For now, we've got one last Xdinary Heroes binder. So this is my POB binder for them. It's like POB and merch cards. So if I have a set, it's gonna go in here. Because I like the 6 for the POBs, not necessarily for the actual album cards. For the album cards, I'd much rather than be by member. But you go through here, so you've got the Happy Death Day tin cards, because I haven't been a pre-debut stan of these guys, but I found them on the day that the Happy Death Day music video came out. It came up in my YouTube recommended. I watched it. And decided, yeah, I've been listening to K-pop on and off for a while. I've actually got to start collecting now because these guys are amazing, and I know they're a bit more K-rock than K-pop, but they got me into like the more collecting side before I just kind of listened. But after this, the Happy Death Day, I got really into them, and I literally used my first paycheck to buy the Hello World album. And then we've got the fan meeting stuff. I don't have a membership card for this because I technically didn't join the fan club, or like the official fan club generation. I just saw the whole box set with everything in it on Mercari for relatively cheap, and learned how to use Mercari Japan through buys so that I could get them, because I love the group card. The first time they'd done like trio unit cards, might have been the first time they did unit cards. I also don't own their light stick. But I do have 2 POB sets for them because they're adorable, and if I see this set for cheap, I'm going to buy it. And I also didn't think they were going to do any concerts anywhere near me, and then they did one, but I had one of the 2 big exams for my college courses on that day, so I couldn't, unfortunately. See, these are more merch cards than POB sets, but you know, they fit with the vibes. Then you've got this page, which is the POBs. That you get for buying that merch on like this page. I pulled Ode when I got them, and I thought, well, they're not that expensive, so I'll collect them. This page, I think I just bought this Gunneel, not really knowing what it was, and then I realised they had the 2 visions, the heroes and the villains. So this page is not necessarily trying to get all the heroes ones. I might get a hero Gunneel and a villain Jungsu, and then a guy, just sort of what I can find, because they're either really hard to find, you can like find one version or the other, or they're like expensive. And like, I know at the end of the day that they are a, you know, they're not affiliated with a specific album, and I think they're broadcast cards. But either way, this page might never get filled up, and we'll just move other things around. Light stick cover pages, and then you've got this next 3 pages, which I did a bit differently, where I just put the 3 cards of the same concept in a row. These 2 on the outside are a part of the yearbook cards for 2023 going on 2024, and then these cards in the middle actually came with the binder itself. This binder setup is sort of rudimentary because I've not had it set up very long, because I bought it from JYP, and then it came with the pages and they were very PVC heavy, and when you put the card in with a sleeve you couldn't really see the card. But obviously I didn't want to put the pieces in without it, so I got some other pages and I sort of just put them in for now, but this is not a definite setup. I pulled that in my live lock album, same with these two. I think I actually had I screamed when I got that, just because I don't look at the POBs before I order. I just sort of order whatever's cheapest for me to get from, and I ended up with that. And then I've got the Troubleshooting Music Career set, a pop and gown. Ode is in a special sleeve just because when I ordered these pages I got like a few eclectic like hollow sleeves sent, and I'm going to put my bias in them. Then these two came with my standard versions of Troubleshooting, and since I've got the other set in the actual binder, I want to get a set of like, you know, them in the actual album cards in here. I might swap them over, put these ones in the little binder, put the like the Nemo version ones in here, but for now, because these aren't completed, they'll stay. And then this is sort of my miscellaneous page, and that's a Hello World Lucky Draw, the Overlay My Music Taste Ode, that's a tour card, and that's the Apple Music Deadlock POB for Gunil. And I've just got these two fillers there because there's nothing else to really be given at the moment, and no excuse. And then I've got sort of a few extra pages at the back. But that is everything I have for Xdinary Heroes as a current. As you might have seen, some of them have like an OTW on the like filler. That just means it's on the way, but I only ordered them I think yesterday, so it's very likely going to be they're here for July, and they'll be in the July storing video. And you know, you'll see them when they come in sort of thing. Then moving on to my second biggest collection, this is Zerobaseone. I only started collecting them a few months ago, and during the tail end of Melting Point, just before Yora came out. So it was a bit of an awkward situation because I wanted to catch up on, you know, Youth in the Shade and Melting Point, and I didn't want. First I was just going to collect How, and then my photo collect, and then my collect book fell apart. So I thought, well, I'll buy my whole bias line and a free pocket binder. Go from there. So for Youth in the Shade and Melting Point, I collected How, Hanbin and Guvin. When it came to Yora, I dropped down to just Hanbin and Guvin, just because How is very popular and therefore a lot of his cards are a lot more expensive than you sort of see. Guvin is my main bias and Hanbin is my second bias. Thankfully, he's not a lot of people's biases, so it's a bit easier to get his cards for a bit of a better price. But you know, if How was my main bias, I would fully, you know, go in and pay the prices. It's just with having the set of free, and I have already finished the first 2 years for him, I thought, you know, I've got the start of it, and then, you know, if I see any cute POBs I'll pick up for him. So I'll explain as we go through. So I put these in a black sleeve on this side, and then on this side sort of slide them in. But as I've said, I've fully completed Youth in the Shade for everybody. And then on Melting Point, I'm missing one card of Hanbin's, and it's this one. It's the mystery version 2 where he's in the white hoodie. Then as we go through, and then for Yora, because I dropped down to the 2 members, I've just got those 3 cards per each, for Hanbin and for Guvin. So they sort of got a free spread each. As you can see, for Guvin's fully completed set. I was originally collecting How for Yora, so I have got his 2 unit cards, and I'm not going to get rid of them because I've got them, so I might as well keep them, for, you know, because I've collected them and I want to keep them, so whatever. And then I've got the 2 units for You Had Me at Hello with just some fillers in. This is where I run out of black sleeves. And then for You Had Me at Hello, I currently have 1 Hanbin card. How I'm going to do it here is, at the moment, I'm going to have 2 rows of Hanbin and then 2 rows of Guvin. But as and when I get the cards, I might decide to do Hanbin, Guvin, Hanbin, Guvin, Hanbin, Guvin. It sort of depends on how I want to set it when they come in. Now, when I dropped How, I put a lot of his POBs I had up for trade or sale, but I could not get rid of this card because I love it. And then I found out that this Guvin was also part of the same set. and I have just found a sale post for the hand bin one, so that'll be my one, not OT free set, but like my top 3 bias like set. And then the rest of this is a lot of giving, because I thought, like, you know, I'm not going to find the L holder fancon cards for hand bin, and then I found the post for them. So you know, this is all subject to change as well, but this is how I do my POBs, because this is all I've got for hand bin at the moment. So I have the matching giving one below it, which will carry on to here. They're all on the way. And then I just put these Nextdoor giving ones at the end, because I know I'm not going to be able to find hand bins for that. And then just the rest of my giving POBs, because as I said, he's my main bias, so I've got a few more for him. But if I do manage to find the hand bin ones, I'll pick them up and do this sort of pattern. But they're only sort of a priority for the hand bin album cards. The POBs are sort of, if I see something cute like that, pick it up and then get the matching using one. But yes, that's my my Zerobaseone collection as of currently. Then heading back to this binder, we've got my newest collection, which is boynextdoor. For this, I'm just collecting Jaehyun currently, because he is my bias. I've only sort of been, you know, actively looking for his cards like the last week and a half, but I've got quite a few already. These aren't going to be double backed like ZB1 and Xdinary Heroes, because ZB1 is such a small binder as it is, and I don't want to have a second binder for them if I can help it, until, you know, we're more than sort of 3 albums in a single in. And also the backs are all different for them, which is quite fun. However, if you just get to the point that XH have gotten so big they need more space, or he's gotten so big that he needs more space, I can either double side them or I'll find someone else to put him. But I thought, I've got all this space in the back of this binder that I'm not using, why not put this here for now, sort of temporarily. I did check and these are in the wrong way round. Yeah, so I know it's a bit weird having a completely separate collection, especially in a smaller book, but A4 binders too much for me. I much prefer having little A5 ones or an A5 line. So this is where Jaehyun lives at the moment. Yep. And then I've got this unit card which I pulled in my first ever boynextdoor album unboxing, which is quite lucky. And then I've got these 2 fan meeting cards, which as I explained when I was storing them, how I sort of got those. Right, that's that binder for you with that. Now finally, I've got my one and only surviving collect book. Zoom in a bit. This houses my card collection, which is very minimal. I got into them just before Icky. Bought that album, got that OT4 set, and then I picked up this BM and this J card. And I'm not going to go back and try and collect everything for them, but you know, if I could complete that set and that set, I'd be happy, sort of thing. Here's what I've got for them currently, and I've got my 2 extra pulls from the boynextdoor album I opened, because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with them yet. Trade, sale, keep them, sort of have a look. And then that's all in the front. So if we go to the back, we have just sort of the stuff I have for trade or sale. It's a mixture of sort of all the groups collect that card. And I've got 2 of these. I ordered one, somehow ordered a second one, and literally 10 minutes after I paid for my second one, the first one came in the post. So I felt very silly that day. I've got some jalapenos, what's left of that, and then that's it. So, zoom back out again. Yeah, so that's all sort of for today. That is my Photocard Collection as of June 2024. We'll see how we go from here. Bye!